Here's a Canadian joke that's not very funny. Every year the citizens of Montreal, Vancouver, and Toronto waste 10,000 years of human time waiting in their cars because of traffic congestion. This year the Canadian Chamber of Commerce is doing a major piece of work on public infrastructure, and one of the sections deals with that issue: urban congestion and public transit.
Transportation is a cost to business. The problem with congestion is that it drives up that cost, and those costs end up in higher prices for the goods and services that we buy. What that means for businesses is that they invest less here in Canada and they employ fewer Canadians.
Decisions are made often by companies that are looking to locate or relocate based on items like congestion. What is the traffic like? What is going to be the time it takes for their own employees to go to and from work?
Simply put, the cost of road congestion on the economy, environment, and society in all major cities across Canada, but in particular, Metro Vancouver, is unsustainable and unacceptable.
Ensuring that we have efficient and effective trade enabling infrastructure, particularly through our western ports, is absolutely key to Canada's plan to diversify its export markets.
The transportation sector plays a critical role in Canada's economy. The Port Authority works collaboratively with its partners to identify and deliver projects to increase the capacity of the gateway and ensure a reliable and efficient supply chain for Canada. We need efficient infrastructure to strengthen port networks, to stay competitive, and enable Canada to become a global trading hub in the coming years.
The ever-increasing bottlenecks and inefficiencies in Canada's trade corridors, and especially the Asia-Pacific Gateway, is not only damaging to Canada's international trade reputation, but is also creating very real economic costs throughout the supply chain, right down to the consumer at the cash register.
A vast amount of data exists out there. Some estimates put the amount of data flow in a single day at 2.5 quintillion bytes. That's a lot of information, and roughly only 10% of that is being analyzed right now, which means there's a huge business opportunity out there. The volume of data and the computing power required to analyze that data and the expertise required to that, Canada has a great opportunity here, and we need to put the framework in place to make that happen.
The economic potential of Canada's north is unbelievable, but we tend to forget just how deficient the infrastructure is there. Just basic electricity, water, housing don't exist in the way they do in the south. So the challenge for Canada is to make far bigger investments than we have in the past to try to open that region up to the benefit of the people who live there and all the rest of us.
People that purchase, the countries that purchase goods from Canada, have other options and other choices. And if we as a supply country cannot ensure certainty of delivery time, etc., because of deteriorating infrastructure, then we're at grave risk when it comes to ensuring the growth of our economy through our export markets.
So 3/4 of all the stuff that we manufacture in Canada is in southern Ontario and Quebec, and it's destined for foreign markets, usually the United States. Getting that product to the United States efficiently and quickly is really the key to competitiveness, the key to staying in business. So one of the sections that we're looking at in our report is the whole challenge of borders, bridges, roads, highways, all the rest, that helps our manufacturers compete in an export market.
Oil and gas is going to be an important part of the global energy mix for many decades to come, even as the world moves towards a lower carbon economy. Canada can play a crucial role in getting very environmentally responsibly produced oil and gas to global markets. But we can't do it without a regulatory system that is both rigorous and efficient.
FortisBC is able to build on our LNG successes to date and now has the opportunity and capability to position BC as a key global LNG bunkering hub. As such, we expect the demand for LNG as a marine fuel to grow, particularly for marine vessels along the west coast of North America and Asia.
There is still a large demand for fossil fuels internationally, and why not Canada? Canada is probably best positioned than any of the other oil-producing countries to provide that commodity to the rest of the world under its circumstances where Canada's environmental standards are next to no one with respect to the production of oil and gas. So from that perspective, why not Canada? Our concern, our problem has been that our pipeline infrastructure and some of our other trade-enabling infrastructure is not keeping pace with the ability to provide that resource in a competitive and timely manner.
FortisBC recognizes that LNG demand is poised to grow, particularly in the marine sector, in response to stricter environmental regulations. In order to support this demand growth, we are in the final stages of expanding our LNG storage and liquefaction capacity.
Despite having one of the cleanest electricity grids in the world, electricity generation is still Canada's fourth largest source of greenhouse gas emissions. Canada currently lacks east-west transmission infrastructure that can move clean energy from hydro-producing provinces to the rest of the country, helping Canada meet its climate change commitments.